I've been trying to figure this out for a long time. And so it's upsetting to think that my doctor, of 15 years hadn't mentioned this type of therapy before. I mean, I want to shout it from the rooftops because I had never heard of it. I wish somebody had told me about it years ago. Before I did TMS, I really struggled with depression and the helpless and hopeless feelings and intrusive thoughts, and suffered with depression most of my life, and really active in trying to recover from that my entire adult life. So I've been in and out of talk therapy, but it's hard with talk therapy because I felt like it always just made things worse. And, medication after medication after medication, all these trials, and nothing seemed to work. And it gets tiring, it's exhausting, and not only financially, but just mentally, physically, when you feel like there's nothing that can help you. It really gives you that hopeless feeling. And that's pretty much where I was, and I was willing to do anything to make it better. I first learned about transcranial magnetic stimulation from the Huberman podcast in February of 2024. He just spoke about it briefly, and so I kind of put that in the back of my head, and he was talking about psilocybin and ketamine. I was looking into the studies and was really gung-ho about ketamine, but then Matthew Perry died. And so I started questioning whether or not that would be the best route. So when the Facebook ad showed up with you and TMS being so, close to me, within reach, I had to try it. When I was given my treatment plan to come as often as possible, Monday through Friday, I was a little concerned about that, being able to get off work enough to come, but the treatments are so quick, and I was in and out of here within 10 minutes. And I could head back to work, and it was, hardly even a lunch break. I felt very well cared for by Kiara, and any changes I had to make, she was always willing to work with me and very flexible. There were a couple of times I had a mild headache when I would go back to work after the treatment, but it wasn't anything that impaired me. And the physical sensation of it, to me at first, it felt painful, but maybe it was just the uncomfortable feeling that I considered pain, but I am hypersensitive. Now, if I do it today, it doesn't feel painful. It doesn't even really feel uncomfortable. And I wonder if the TMS has helped with my hypersensitivity. I started noticing symptom improvements by session 7, and then by, 10, 11, 12, I noticed changes in my mental clarity. I was able to see a situation clearly, whereas before things would upset me and I couldn't even think straight. Just a lot of chaos in my mind. I felt like it all just kind of started to balance out. I was afraid to admit, honestly, how well the treatments were going, but when challenge after challenge came up and I was handling it without being reactive, without being emotionally dysregulated, that's when I realized that it truly was healing me. I'm still noticing improvement 1 month after treatments. Was comforted knowing that Dr. Benning would allow me to come in for maintenance sessions if I felt like I was slipping or falling back into some of my old patterns or thoughts. And I definitely wake up feeling ready for the day as opposed to waking up and dreading the day. I'm able to look at a situation objectively rather than, taking everything personally, and I'm able to stop the intrusive thoughts where I couldn't before. And I stopped taking my anti-anxiety and my antidepressant, and I don't feel like I need to take them again. TMS is a life-changing treatment for me. I've looked for any kind of hope for healing. This is the only thing I've found. So anybody who's on the fence or feels depressed and on medication, I just talk to them about my years of having a hard time finding help, the help that I needed, and how so non-invasive, how quickly I have shown improvement. It just can't be denied. I feel like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I don't feel like I carry the weight of the world anymore. I feel a lot more joy, and I see a lot more beauty in the day, just kind of enjoying what's there.